Hello model railroaders, John back with the 16 by 8 river layout. Again, we're not working on my layout today, but I'm going to show you a little thing that I've been kind of messing around with and how I do it. It's nothing new. It's mortaring your HO scale, N scale, O scale, whatever buildings. I've got a few panels I did already. Now I'm going to show you something first. This is one of my panels that I make myself. I 3D print these myself. I made this design up myself doing these panels. This building here is, I've put pictures of. This is one of the buildings I did. I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit to give you a little better look at it. This is one I made on my 3D printer using just red filament. And I spent about a month making various panels and things like that, so you could kind of see what I was trying to copy. That's not for sale or anything like that. I don't know if I can even sell this stuff, but I just made it for me, and so I can make all the kits I want and buildings. And I've got quite a few I've already made using this technique of making my own panels. They're similar to the DPM panels. I don't know who sells them or whatever, but you've all seen them kits you can buy where they come with all these red or reddish orange panels, and you can build various style buildings. So with that said, basically what I'm doing is the building looks good like that, and as a matter of fact, that one is going to stay that way. Other than it might get a little weathering added to it down the road. That was actually my very first trial building I did. At the end of this video, I'll put I made another building. It's a hotel, hospital, apartment building, whatever you want to call it. It's a big, gigantic building. It's 5 stories tall, and I used the same process. And then here's another type of building that I've done. You've probably seen these. I've done a lot of pictures of these online, of these buildings. And those are kind of my favorite. That is a building I've seen online, and I've copied pictures, different building pictures, and I've made buildings to look like other buildings the best I can using brick patterns. This one here, some of this I have made from a downloaded file, and not the whole thing. The only thing that is original on this building from the download is this piece here and that wall. The rest of everything else I made so myself. And so I'm working on doing my own designs, and a couple things like that for different types of buildings. And it's coming along pretty good. And that's what this particular piece is. This is one of my own brick patterns that I made myself manually. And I did mortar this one. I don't have the rest of the building because I'm just experimenting with it. I do have a building for it, but I just didn't print out the whole building. So anyways, that's that part of it. So now I'm going to show you what I do. Here is one of my own little homemade panels, all mortared up. I think it looks really nice. You can kind of see it right there. It's pretty nice. And it was super, super easy and relatively fast. The only thing I would say is it's probably better to do the panels individually first before you glue together this building, or at least do the building, like each wall set, and then don't put the windows in, none of that stuff, then mortar it, then put it together. And then the other thing I will say, you can see the color of the panel. Look at how white it got by adding mortar. I would definitely never use that bright a mortar. Some people might like it on an old building. This larger brick, it doesn't look as bad. This is a little more gray. And then here is another color that I really, really like, kind of a rusty medium brown that I really like, that I think is a good brick color. I'm basing it on this top part here. You can see the nice brick texture, and then how it came out once I added some mortar to it. Kind of zoom in so you can really see it. It came out really nice. So now I'll show you what I did. And this is nothing new. Many people probably already do this. You can buy a mortar. I don't have any, so I just kind of, about a year ago, I saw a guy doing this process. So that's what I'm just gonna finish this panel showing what he did. He takes some, me takes some spackle. This is dry spackle. And you can use different kinds of spackle if you want to. Just drop a piece on there. That's just what I had. So I just tried it today so you can, to get this so you guys can see what it looks like. Now I've also done this with paint, liquid paint before. That works too, but it's very messy. It is really messy. This stuff cleans and polishes and turns into a pretty even, nice finish, as you can see on these two panels. It's a pretty nice continuous mortar pattern. Okay, so what I do is I'll take on the undone part right here. I just take my finger in this stuff here, just dip and take a little wad of it out like this, and I just press it right into there. It's gonna drop little chunks on your table, so be prepared. Don't get all nervous if it makes a mess, because it bugged me too, but it just does it's kind of the way it works. You can kind of see what it's doing already. I'm just rubbing it in, and then I grab a little more to keep the pattern going, keep it nice and even. If you get too much, not a big deal. It wipes right off. Let's do this whole thing. Might as well get this whole panel covered. And this is actually a section of one of my buildings that I make. I could use this on it, you know. And the nice thing is that this stuff too is after it's done, you can weather it with some weathering powders, and mortar, it'll really stick to that mortar really well. So now you got this all kind of done. It's all packed in there. I'm going to scrape a little bit off there the best I can. Yeah, like that. You know, I'm just going to set down so I can wipe my finger off here for a second. Okay, so now what I would do is I just take this. You can use damp or dry. This is dry. Dry piece of just paper towel, and you just kind of buff the thing. And you get the little crusties coming off. I'll show you up close in a second. I just want you to see what I'm doing as far as the panel. How I'm kind of buffing the thing out. Okay, so there, oh, it's got a little dry. You're gonna get little shreds of the paper towel until it dries. Here, I gotta clean a little more of this off, a little better. You don't have to be really careful with it either. It's not like the stuff's not gonna come out. It's really in there, it's really stuck in there. There we go. So that's kind of what it looks like now. I still got a little bit more in here than I like. So she's getting better. And once it dries, you can polish it more. Now this rag here is a little slightly bit damp. You can go and wipe that off too. And yeah, it's actually getting some of that off, some of that overage. But what it also does is it shreds the, oh, I know what that line is. That's where I stopped. So it's gonna have to dry to blend in a little better. But it comes out really nice. You can kind of see up close. It's a nice process, and it's really easy, and it's a little messy. You can see the table. It's got a little bit of crumbs from the compound, the drywall spackle. Just put that cover back on so it don't dry out on me anymore. So that's really basically it. I just thought it was kind of nice, but like I said, I would not want to do a whole building with it that bright, but this really shows you what it is. You know, with all these three different types of brick and stuff like that. That one, and that one. They come out really, really nice. Sorry if I'm moving too fast. I'm kind of really close to this to show you guys what it is. So I'll put up a couple little pictures of this at the end of the little panels up close. And then what I used, the product what I used. This is a really common product that's everywhere. Now, I think you can take that stuff and add a little coloring to it as well. For me, I would darken these up significantly. I would want them to be about twice as dark as this kind of light gray. I would want them almost a medium gray, sort of like the roof of this building. That's what I would want. This one I did make a little darker using another product. This is more of a paint that was dry. So that's kind of what I did with that. Now this one being on this light color here, I think this should have actually been a darker one as well. But you know, it's all in what you want. On an old, very heavy, just say you have an old Victorian house or something, you would see it looking that drastic, you know, but I personally just don't like it. And now also for my buildings, these little buildings, I think because they're so small, I don't know that the mortar really adds enough to it, you know, to really change it enough where I probably won't do those myself. Someone can do them though if they want to do it on their own. I just wanted to show you guys a couple things I have done so to accomplish this little mission of a little bit of more adding mortar. So anyways, that's all I got this time, and hope it helps. And if it didn't, well, it's something to try and see if it works for you. If not, well, it's kind of fun to try. Thanks for watching.